done yet. Don't you place no bets, cause we ain't done yet. Don't you dare place no bets, my brother. Don't you place no bets, cause we are not done yet. My sister, we not done yet. Don't you dare place no bets, And I stay alone, and I staying on, and I staying strong, and I stay up in the zone, and I stay up in my zone. If you don't like to eat, leave me alone. I ain't tryna be mean, but and I gotta be real, yeah. Talking about the things that I seen, and I stay up in this life, and this music, man, I'm like a fiend, and I never stop. Good music, man, I like to drop, and I push that love and good energy, man, a lot. I switch up my style, I keep on going real high, yeah. I'll probably be here for a while, teaching my brothers and sisters, yeah, loving one another, making any kind of weather, stay together forever. We ain't done yet, don't you dare place no bets, my brother, cause we not done yet, my sister, don't you place no bets. As I always say.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, generals, those who ride along with the brother. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. And as you can see, the birds are chirping. And that's actually real birds that's chirping. That ain't no AI. That's something I actually heard this morning, brothers and sisters. I had to get it. The birds was chirping like crazy, you know. And welcome to another welcome to E's House of Nature, and thus EBX discussion. Again, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. One, salute you and thank you. And like I said in that song, we ain't done yet, you know. We're never done, you know. Stopping, giving up is never an option, brothers and sisters. And we're going to get into it and salute to our families, and may that great divine just be in our life. Keep us strong and keep us prospering, paying attention. And we're going to get into it, brothers and sisters, about being a pillar of strength and what it takes to be a pillar of strength. Not that I know everything there is about being a pillar of strength, but as we do when we deep think and pay attention to things, we begin to keep our eye on that divine sparrow, which is across the banner. And as you can see on the thumbnail, that's your boy E. You know, and as I said, I like to get in nature every chance one gets. You know, excuse me for that. Yeah, I like to get in nature every chance one gets, and learn and get as much knowledge as possible, righteous knowledge, that is, something that can benefit us, impact us, and help us for life. You know, and salute to all the warriors out there and those who who's giving. I'm studying this morning, giving to humanity and our culture. And good day, good afternoon, and good evening. And again, that's brother E, brother EBXCARES on the banner there. And it was a beautiful day. We've been having some beautiful days here in the old mill town. And as you can see, again, that's brother E on the banner. You know, getting up there in the old age, but that's all right. I embrace it. I don't fight it, because when we fight getting older, it just makes ourselves look that much more older. But the most important is the inner, right? As we all speak on. And of course, on the banner, you know, like I said, and then like it says in the title, let's be a pillar of strength. Real talk in any area of our life. I don't care what it is, you know. Always look for a solution, you know, so we can get those righteous results. And our mind will be like we see on the banner here. Again, welcome to E's House of Nature, and you can't tell me this isn't beautiful. So again, imagine waking up to this, refreshed and getting our mental right for that day and every day. You know, as they say, I always got a quote Bruce Lee, and I was just actually, I don't know, I watch a lot of martial arts videos and stuff. So, but I did watch the Bruce Lee story here recently, and I remember his father saying in there, he said 3 enemies of fear. He said, he said fear, hatred, and anger. He said If we don't conquer those three, a life, what did he say? He said a day can be a triumph, but a life can be a tragedy, or something like that. I might have misquoted it. He said when we don't conquer fear, hatred, and anger, a life can be a tragedy. But when we conquer those three things, a day can be a triumph, as we've seen in the movie, And it's more than just physical or fighting. Of course, comes from the mental, because that's the my favorite part of martial arts. It teaches honor and respect, as well as boxing. It depends on, again, who's driving the vehicle. That's the analogy I like to use. Vehicle being our body. But like Bruce Lee he was we all know, and it's not just him. I'm just using him as an example. Like Michael J. White, I speak on him. Wesley Snipes. It's a spiritual, mental thing. Before the physical even come, just because we know martial arts don't mean we have to use it. Because again, if we are certified martial artists or a professional boxer, we consider it a weapon, right? So that's why one has to master fear, hatred, and anger. Poison, danger, danger, danger. Real talk. So I just remember that it was just in one spirit. It's just beautiful getting righteous knowledge and jewels that can help us and our children, family, as I always say, folks, significant other. And never ever stop keeping our eye on that divine sparrow. And of course, got a few breakdowns of divine sparrow, and I got to go a little deeper just to get it embedded in our subconscious, because again, that's where a lot of thoughts are held, creativity, solutions. If we take the time to go there, just be amazed what will come up in our spirit and share it to the world. Because again, drop that righteous jewel in that pond and just watch that and watch the ripples go out, and then they come right back. Because as the old saying goes, it's more than just a saying. It's the way of life. It's a way of life. What we put out will ultimately come back, but sometimes it takes time, and it depends on the person, because everyone is different. Only great divine and Mama Nature know what we can handle. That's why we get great divine. My theory, that's why we only get certain abilities and gifts and talents and things in certain increments and little pieces here and there. It depends on the person, because great divine know us better than we know ourselves. That God spirit been knowing us since birth. So we're going to get into some summaries, of course. And again, salute to those who do spend time in nature. I do see a lot of that. And I'll reiterate, most martial artists you see working out, where are they? In nature. Because that's when it's calm, we can think. That's why I got this on the banner. So again, welcome to E's House of Nature. And you just chill out. And we're going to have a discussion while we're looking at the beautiful water, the palm trees, and the pleasant, just imagine the pleasant breeze. And you heard that bird chirping. I played at the end, and that was all this morning. That's what woke me up. And them birds was chirping this morning. They was loud, boy. They was up early. Yeah, so I had to get that authentic sound. It's wonderful to get authentic sounds of nature, the real sounds, and not automated or AI. Gotta stay. That's another way to keep our eye on that divine spirit. We gotta stay rooted and natural. Nothing is more better than natural. When we just flowing, and letting things flow. I used to say, we don't push, but we don't give up, depending on what it is. Because some areas in our life do have to get a little push, because we do have to know when to be aggressive and when not. Of course, we learn this on this walk, right? Because we're what? Students of human nature and Mama Nature. But what's the first human one has to study and make it a top priority? Ourselves, folks. Always gonna start with ourselves, As my son and I said, Lord Lamont, salute. And again, look for the Comedy Heavy Hitters, episode 9, Saturday. If nothing else, get in front of it. Be 3:00. And study adding to the list, because got a lot of comedians want to talk about, and some sisters and brothers, and even some Caucasian rare comedians that everyone loves. So we're just gonna get into some comedy and maybe speak a little scientific about it and just give our perspectives, because Lord Lamont and myself, we love comedy. And a salute to one's family, my children. Ethan is doing good. I played his band concert on the last 3 podcasts I did. Because again, it sounds like celebration when you hear his band play. I got it live right here on Lord Lamont, on EBX and Lamont's channel. I got it right here. And it was fun hearing all those instruments. Man, it's just different than digital. It really is. So, man, you can't lose with authenticity. Real talk. It was a time I couldn't even say that word. Real talk. But you can't lose with it. With natural abilities. A lot of us was born with. It's just wonderful. Knowing the gifts and the powerful things we've always had in us. We just finally, man, dive into it and manifest it and just flourish in this life and be a pillar of strength. Don't give that devil no fucking room. I'm serious, real talk. Can't play when it comes to devilish things in this world, especially if it comes through person, place, thing. Because when one becomes, I would say, locked on to their spirit and not taking no crap from the toxic part of this world, no evil entity will stand a chance. Because even people can have evil entities within them that they don't know about. Some of us have been down that road, and sometimes we're not aware of who we are or our behavior. Then when we do become aware and we still don't care, I feel sorry for you, because one that's righteous and standing firm. And again, that's just a way of life, doing what we're supposed to do as a human. First off, before we even get to the deep spiritual, our spirit can't tolerate nonsense. It just can't. Even if we try to, it'll bother us. We'll literally get sick. So being honest is always the best policy, even when it's not easy. It's just better, and we learn this on this walk. Sometimes we have to be brutally honest, disagree to agree. And as always, try to remind us, don't forget who the real enemy is. But first, we got to conquer the enemy where? Deep within that soul. Make sure we don't have an enemy within and not projecting things onto the world or people and flow through this life. So because that way we can see, and we do all these things to be better so we can help others. And again, it's good for our mental state, our health, our body. Positive energy is beautiful, man, when one takes it serious. And again, folks, keep our eye on that divine sparrow, not just a sparrow, a divine sparrow. Always got to have that divine in there. It's wonderful. And we see this on this walk, and always go back to the evidence of moments that we have plowed through, especially those moments we can't explain. We always got to kind of go back to that just to remind us. Because again, we get lost in emotions in our human body, and we forget some of us, some of the powerful things we plow through. We just have to come up with a different strategy, a different angle. We stay at it, and my Lord Lamont, my son, he gave an example. Like, it's been things he's conquered in the past, because we do this as humans. We make things, especially in our mind, we build up things in our mind and make them worse than what they are. Then we conquer it. We're like, wow, that wasn't bad as I thought. Like, I was listening to Math Hoffa. Salute to Math Hoffa. I like that platform. They had Akon on there recently, and I actually spoke on Akon and Baby Bash. I got a podcast right here on one's channel. You know what? I'll put that in the screen since I brought his name up. And I like Akon. He has a very unique mind, and he's a smart brother. And salute to all the brothers on that platform, Math Hoffa. I think they're all some intelligent brothers, and they have really great discussions and talks on there. So I really appreciate stuff like that. But they had Akon on there a couple days ago or so, and it's kind of ironic. My son and I were speaking on the pyramids in Kemet, and I was recently speaking on that in the podcast I did about Atala Shabazz, Malcolm X's daughter. Rest in peace and in power. The last podcast I did a few days ago, it was a tribute to her because they had copyright and took it down. So I redid it because I think she's important. She's an important piece in history, hands down, facts. And Malcolm X had 6 daughters, and he didn't have any sons. I thought he did because I said it in that podcast, and I looked it up, and no, he has no sons. He has 6 daughters. Wow. And they all were soldiers, generals. That's wonderful. So I think Atala Shabazz was the oldest, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because she the one that witnessed Malcolm X's passing. And again, rest in peace and in power. Anyone else in her family that transition, because I think she had another sibling that transition. All her sisters. So salute to that. But it's ironic in there. I was talking about I wanted to know how they built the pyramids and how, and I was speaking on how back in the Pharaoh and Nefertiti days, how highly intelligent they were and how ironic they were talking about that. I say, folks, black people, melanated brothers and sisters, we are connected in ways we're not even aware of, even though we don't even know, or I would say never seen in person. I put it like that. It's just, that's why I think, in my opinion, in theory, I think that's why it's like this little, I want to say weirdness, but not a toxic weird. It's just like a little weirdness between us because we are coming into a realm, I'd have to say, that we're not used to. We're stepping into, spiritual aspects of our life that we've never experienced before. So we have this connection. It's like, and it's weird. It's like, are we copying each other? It's weird. It really is. But if you're connected spiritually, we'll know if we like resonate with someone or we're inspired by someone. It can be kind of a weird feeling, but you have to step into it and see what it is. But I brought that up going back to Akon and Math Hopper platform. Salute to that platform again. But they were speaking on the pyramids and how they placed those stones. I call them bricks, but I think they were stones. That how they placed them. So after me and Lord Lamont do that comedy heavy hitters, the one after that we're gonna go in on Kemet and how they build those pyramids. And it's kind of, as I said before, be kind of information for me and for Lord Lamont. Something we just want to discuss. So get to the root of getting back to that power we always had as a melanated culture. Real talk. So salute for that discussion. And it's beautiful coming across jewels like that. And it's amazing. Like, kind of like Great Divine. Great Divine pays attention, magnifies the small righteous things. And sometimes divine small things can propel us to something greater and bigger, which I'm going to get into. So be thankful of the jewels we come across, whether it's brother, sister, family, or uncle, anyone, that help us along the way. Some we heard, some righteously now, real online, we heard from a teacher. Man, be thankful that we're receiving and our pineal gland is open and we have our eye on that divine spiral, because that's a beautiful place to be, because it can be very, very challenging. Focusing on spiritual things and stepping into it and not thinking things are weird and stuff like that. And I'm talking about outside of the things that are weird in this world. I'm not talking about toxic weird things. I'm just talking about when we step into a spiritual world and just things we're not used to. A lot of times that's just what it is. It's just something we're not used to experiencing as a human person. So it's wonderful going above and beyond this human flesh. It's beautiful when we step into that great part of ourselves that's just been laying dormant, and we're able to listen to birds chirp, and I can still hear them chirping. If you can listen for a minute, you hear that? They're still chirping. Yep, I love that authentic sound. It's beautiful. I had to record it. It was loud too. They was chirping really loud this morning. I just love that sound, man. I really do. So yeah, I guess MC. And when we got our eye on the sparrow, on that divine sparrow, brothers and sisters, and we're being a pillar of strength, it only gets better and it only gets greater. And as I always say, I say 1,000 times, stay a student. We won't miss nothing. Always be a student, be in a place of learning and embody righteous knowledge. Embody it, Don't, if we fumble, make a mistake, all right, go back and see what it is, correct it, get back on board. There's no such thing as dumb, Intelligence is just doing the right thing, making the right choice, even when it's not easy or no one's looking. That's intelligence, Now the other things are a plus. Where if you got book knowledge or knowledge to help with mental health and the body and stuff like that, that's all good too. But just doing the right thing when it's not easy, it builds divine confidence and makes you want to do more. Of course, we be firm. We don't be naive, but great divine and Mama Nature will lead the way, and just bring that beauty in our life. like the banner, you know. And I got the same thing I got on the banner. As I say, I always have a display of it on the big screen in front of me just to inspire me. And it's refreshing, you know. And how many of us have been in nature and the breeze and the air blowing, and it's wonderful when we pay attention like that. And it's good to do that on a daily. It really releases, I would say, unseen tension. Sometimes we can have unseen tension we're not aware of. That's why we get into meditation and or deep thought and relieve those areas of tension, if any at all. Real talk, because getting into our subconscious, we can never go wrong. Filter out stuff, even the bad stuff, you know, because sometimes bad things can be lingering around in our body. So that's why we practice and meditate, focus, and keep our eye on that divine sparrow, folks. We'd never go wrong. And that's how we maintain that strength of being a pillar. Real talk. Be a pillar, you know, be a pillar in our own life, of course, in our families, wherever we are, in the communities, whatever we're doing. And I will be volunteering tomorrow. I'm going to volunteer tomorrow. So, yep. So be a pillar in that, you know. And I will say some weeks I might miss. I don't go every week, but I do volunteer. And I will be volunteering tomorrow for sure. So, because I said today I was going to speak to that divine. Because, so I like to say, folks, when the great divine tell me to speak, I speak. When the great divine tell me to shut up, I shut up. So, but today I'm speaking to him. So, when you hear one speak, or me and Lord Lamont discuss things, we speak on the podcast, I'm connecting with that great divine and Mama Nature. It's just beautiful when you have generals, spell breakers, ride along and listen to, because we got to talk to that divine, put it in everything. Again, up times, down times, put it in everything. But especially when things going smooth, man. Be thankful about every little beautiful thing we'll come across in this life. So, and it'll inspire us like one is doing right now. It's like therapy. You know, this is for someone who may be getting ready to go to work or something. You know, this is something to soothe you, encourage you, and have you go deeper into oneself and protect yourself from things that can make you feel some kind of way. As soon as we step out that door, always be spiritually ready, righteously spiritually ready before we go out that door, wherever part of the world we're in. And take that global perspective with you out into the world. Stay vigilant and aware. You know, not a robot, but just aware. Because it's beautiful. Because that's the best education, folks, as we all know. Self-awareness. Man, again, this could take a lifetime. You know, it don't happen overnight for some of us. It takes studying awareness, going through fires and experiences, making mistakes, and, you know, finally, emphasis on finally, not into the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I think we've had enough woulda, coulda, shouldas. Real talk. I call it the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. There's no more of those. Always be in the business of having less stress, no stress at all, folks. I'm telling you, breeze through this life and get in nature when we can, like a brother is on the banner. It was so beautiful yesterday. I was like, man, I gotta get some of this, you know. And it don't always have to be recorded either. We just do it. Just get in there, just because it's good for the mind, body, and the soul, you know. And again, it was a time I didn't think about it. Lord Lamont, we didn't think about these things. But, and again, a lot of us have been in nature. We just didn't study it, pay attention to it. But when we do, in life in general, you know, we just appreciate things that much more better. And it just makes it feels better. Nothing is more powerful than an unstoppable, divine, righteous vibration. You tell me what could stop something like that, especially when we practice, stay on it, and never stop being a pillar of strength ever, you know. All right, so let's get to a hip hop break. Y'all know I always have a hip hop break. And what's playing in the intro as we speak is called Clear Vision. So I thought it would fit with the banner, and let's consider this therapy and kind of a form of meditation. That's what the banner represents. We in E's house of nature, meditating and powering up. That's what we're doing right now. We powering up for the punk ass devil, you know. Stomp on the devil's head, folks. All right, let me get to let me see. I got to get to the songs. And Again, that song in the intro is what we're going to outro with. And it's called We Ain't Done Yet. Never, never done yet. Don't you dare stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't you dare give up. You know? Do you know what some of us have been through? Some of us have been through near-death situations. Me and Lord Lamont talked about that. You know what I'm saying? I give the example of Tracy Morgan. He was in a coma for 10 days. And, you know, so we just got to be thankful, man. We never know. Like I say, we appreciate the small moments, and Great Divine will amplify those small moments in our own lives and those our loved ones we are connected to. But stopping is never an option. We got to keep going, brothers and sisters. That's the next song. Be back after this, my wonderful spell breakers. Be back.
Gotta keep going. No such thing as slowing. EBX, you gotta keep going. No such thing as slowing. You gotta keep going. Hey, no such thing as slowing. We gotta keep going. Hey. Keep on pushing through, making sure that we never lose. Making sure in this life never be the fool. Gotta be happy, no time to have it, ever have no blue. Got my family in me, and you got it too. Stay righteous in this life, making sure we keep the righteous tools. And when I stop this, I'ma stay around, making this positive sound. I'ma stay here in this life, stay tough, and I stay down. I'ma do what I got to do, I'ma stay here, never having no fear. I'm glad I got my family, looking at myself, yeah, in the mirror. Woo! Gotta keep going. Hey, you got no time for slowing. You gotta keep going. EBX, no such thing as slowing. Gotta be these, making sure in this life, man, gotta be free. Making sure my kids grow up and making sure that they see. Keep going up real high, making sure that I stay in this life. If I'm a single man, it's okay if I don't got a wife. Cause I got that God in me, making sure I stay in these streets. And this is who I be, never will stop on the MIC. I got that God moving on, yeah, I'm in my zone. I got that steel, man, that's flowing on through my bones. And gotta keep going. I got no time for slowing. EBX, I gotta keep going. Hey, yeah. Do you ever give up in this life? You never know what that great divine has lying ahead. Gotta keep going. Ain't got no time for slowing. Gotta keep moving. Gotta keep grooving. There ain't no losing. Hey, gotta keep going. I got no time for slowing. EBX, salute.
Real talk. I want you to remember that song. You know, whenever you're feeling some kind of way, gotta keep going. You know, like I say, stopping is never an option. It could be a blessing or a blessing, man, right before us. You know, so Great Divine, Mama Nature, don't allow things to happen for nothing, because it has to see where we're at before it can allow things great to come. You know. And it's better when we earn things, and it's just better that way, and doing what we're supposed to do, you know. See, again, one doesn't have foul things within, or worry, or stress, and none of that. We can breeze through life, you know. Because, okay, I'm giving an example. Like a person that's a liar, that lies a lot, on edge, and just rotten to the core, they always gonna be looking over their shoulder, paranoid. Who wants to live like that? Just be the best we can where we are, and let that great divine lead the way. Be amazed if we just learn to let go. You know, I know that sounds so simple, but a lot of us warriors, generals, that's what we finally do. You know, we get to a point in our life, you know what? We just let go. Let go, and what they say, let God, without sounding too religious. But real talk, I mean, when we actually do this, it's some force out there that protects us, you know, when we step into that realm, you know, because we all have a realm, whether we know it or not. We get, and that's physical and spiritual. So conquer that body, conquer that flesh. Things will come. Real talk. So don't project bad things onto no one else, because it'll just come back around, What goes around comes back, Yeah. Life's ups and downs may come and go. Real talk. Yeah. I mean, that's real. That's real talk. And we got evidence all around us, whether it's in our personal lives, celebs, etc., politicians, Live a evil, rotten life. See how that lasts. Even if it lasts long your life, a long time, even if Great Divine allows it for a long, long time. You don't know. We don't know what's on the other side. At some time or another, you're going to pay for that evil, rotten thing you did one way or another. So, I mean, that's why I say I got a theory I like to use. I told Lord Lamont this. We stray for a little while, but we always end up coming back to that God spirit, some one way or another. We try to stray, but we don't get away. Not at all. So just be true, gotta be true. Real talk. So that's the next song. It's called To Be True is the title. I mean, I don't know no other way. Again, even when it's not easy, again, it's not being this super perfect person. It's, man, having awareness, not naive, mindfulness about oneself, I'm telling you, and just add to humanity and our culture and just watch the greatness come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So, gotta be true. To Be True is the next song. Be back after this.
Brothers and sisters, when we be true, that great divine will take us right on through. Salute! Gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do.
Yeah.
I don't want us to lose.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. Brothers and sisters, always be ready. Keep your life steady and be above anything that's fucking petty. Spirit so right, don't let it get heavy. Divine mind shine, yours and mine. As strong as fuck to the end of time. But when your life's smooth, you don't have to grind. So no damn crying and stay on point, and we'll be fine, fine, fine. Gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true, true. Life can be sweet when there is no deceit. A spirit so strong there will be no defeat. And God within, embedded so deep. And while I write rhymes, I continue to teach. And liberate your mind and set you free. And be a fucking beast, you'll righteously. I got no time to be fucking weak, because there's people lost out here in these streets. I gotta be true. I know what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose or be confused. Don't you be no fool. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Gotta be true. Don't care what we gotta do. I don't want us to lose. Brothers and sisters, gotta be true. Real talk. Be the best of ourselves. Salute. Gotta be true. Don't want us to lose.
Don't want us to lose. Real talk, man. I mean that shit. Real talk. I don't like to see people do bad. Real talk. I really don't. I've been there. I know what it's like, And when we want good things for people, guess what? It'll come back to us, Encouragement can go a long way. It really can. And I spoke on how a brother, I bring this up every now and then because it's amazing. Like I said, encouragement can go a long way. And this brother that encouraged me, I met years ago. And hold on. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Yeah. My bad. A brother I met years ago, when I kind of was little doubtful about one's music, little self-conscious about one's music. And this brother told me, he's like, man, because I used to bring this is back when I was doing it on cassette tapes. It was like kind of when it was switching over into CDs, but people still kind of had cassette tapes, so I still had music on cassette tapes. And I used to bring it to work. I told this story before. And he's like, man, that's you? It's like, man, you can carry a note. He said, you ain't really a singer, but you can carry a note. It ain't too bad, bro. And ever since then, and this was 2006, 2005, something like that. I did have, like, again, it was converting over to CD, but I was still like doing stuff on tapes. I still got the cassette tapes right now today that I did music on. But they're not my beats, so they'll probably be copyright. But you know, again, most of the beats you hear me do, they're not mine. They're from Rap Fame, which is an app in Play Store. And again, not trying to get money or nothing like that. Just you know, sharing good music, you know, because I love hip hop to the pit of the soul. From the bottom of my heart, you know, I love hip hop. But I never forgot that brother did that. And yeah, and I've been doing music ever since. And that was 2006. Yep. Right around 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. And I've been doing it ever since. And he encouraged me. I was like, wow, really? He's like, yeah. So I'm telling you, words do hold power. You know, again, encouragement can go a long, long way. So, and that just led from one thing to the next. Because I always say hip hop is everything. Everything is hip hop. I treat hip hop like martial arts. It's also a mental thing. It's a way of life and a stress reliever and soothing, you know. So it just depends on the person, how you like to listen to music and what kind of music one listens to, you know. Always gotta filter out that psyche, what goes in, what goes out, especially what goes in, real talk. Because we're living in a hyperactive world, as we can see. So we better be a pillar of strength, real talk. And like I said, folks, like I say on the banner, keep that eye on that divine sparrow at all times. Real talk. Never take our eye off of it. And I'm gonna get into why we should keep our eye on that divine sparrow. So again, thank those for coming in to a Nature House podcast with Brother E. So let's get to these summaries, brothers and sisters, and continue enjoying the beauty as we chill and look out on the beautiful blue water and the palm trees and the nice setting of the beautiful home on the banner, you know. So let's imagine ourselves sitting there just in the breeze having a discussion. Let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Eye is on the divine sparrow, divine vigilante. Okay, this phrase means divine vigilante, watches over, cares watches over, cares for, and protects even the smallest, most insignificant creatures. Like I say, great divine watches over and protects any and everything. Okay, it promises that if great divine cares for a lowly bird, it cares, that force cares for more, care far more for people. See, and providing comfort, well, can't stay in comfort too long though, and assurance against fear. You know, those are the three enemies one must conquer: fear, hatred, and anger. They must be conquered. Real talk. All right, let's keep going. Symbol of value that comes through that great divine, and it sends sometimes that energy through people. You know, again, like that brother I said I was encouraged by, like Lord Lamont, we speak to each other. It gives us something to look forward to. Some advice I heard from a great sister that was on the radio. I've said this before, but I think it's important. I say it again. Always have something positive to look forward to. Don't just run through life. Slow down. Appreciate life. Smell the roses, so to speak. Get a grasp on it, you know, because we miss things, because time can go very fast, as we know. All right, symbol of value. It emphasizes that we are worth more than many sparrows, you know, but we keep our eye on that righteous sparrow, because great divine cares about any and all creatures on the planet, because it created everything. Of course it's going to care about everything, right down to the roaches. Real talk. All right, Comfort in adversity. Yep. The phrase encourages, that word encourages. The phrase encourages trusting that great divine provides comfort during hardships and personal challenges. That goes back to meditation and our deep prayer. Stand in, fighting those battles in our psyche, and don't just let things fester or ride. If something is tantalizing our spirit, pinpoint it and see what the heck it is. Don't just let things. Now that we don't let go. Now, toxic things we let go. But if it's something that needs to be dealt with, deal with it. Whether it's personal life or with another person, something in life in general, etc., must be dealt with. That's something I learned. You can't just let stuff ride. All right. Especially if it's detrimental to our life. All right. It can have a domino effect. And that's whatever that is, because we're all on different journeys. All right. Actionable application. It serves, this is still keeping an eye on a divine sparrow. It serves as a reminder to combat, I was just talking about, anxiety and fear by trusting in that great divine. Often phrases great divine protection. Note some in discussion. Yep, even in our discussions we speak on. Like I said, but that great divine in everything. Don't care what people say. So people gonna have something to say whether you're doing good or you're doing bad. So might as well do righteous. So and just be ourselves. And as long as we're not hurting ourselves or hurting no one else. All right. 4 points of that great divine. Great divine watches over me. Say that to yourself. Great divine protect us. Always calling out protection on ourselves, family. We got to get serious about that spiritual realm. We'll be amazed. Again, folks, divine things and the hinkling of the future come through what? Signs, synchronicities, deja vu, dreams. All right. Always and forever have divine protection. That's the second point. First point, divine watch over us. This is something we can say in our meditative deep prayer. Great divine watch over me and family and loved ones. One is connected to. In the world, online, global protection. Remember? Okay, great divine protection. All right. The third one, we are not forgotten. Great divine, when we think things are going bad and we're forgotten about it, everybody else got their God spirit, don't feel nothing. Everybody goes through that valley. We got to know when we're in that valley. And the valley isn't always physical. What do we always say, folks? That valley, most of the time, I would say from 1 to 100, I would say 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time, that valley is in the psyche. So great divine has known us since birth. We're never forgotten. Sometimes we have to go through lessons. That's why we can't give into this human flesh and be blinded. So we can see solutions and see divine moments. We have to be in that space. We have to, make wholeness, create peace. It's not just going to happen, All right. Last but not least, great divine cares for the small details, not just great divine don't care about, as well as mama nature, that force that helps us in moments we don't understand. It doesn't care. It's not the money that help us. It's not fame that help us. It's not being a star, being known. It's not status. I always say, folks, that the most important connection is the secret one. That's the secret to that great divine, is when no one else sees. That secret relationship we have with that great divine spirit, and we trust in it. And that's what keep us maintaining and being the pillars of strength. So that was what was in one spirit, and I had to get that out. Again, when the great divine tell ones to speak, I speak when I'm feeling it. So again, thank those for coming in to E House, the E's house of nature. And thanks for sitting here chilling and looking at the beautiful water and palm trees and the little fireplace. And we gotta be visionaries. We think it, and then it comes into action. Always reiterate what Malcolm said. It starts with a righteous warrior thought, and then we put it into motion. Be visionaries. Visualize we have a beautiful home, especially we got to earn it now. Visualize it. Be amazed. We can think things into existence, but we have to act on it. It's not just gonna happen. We always say, me and Lord Lamont, we discussed this too. We set the goal, plan, and I'm talking about something good now. and just live our life. And we work toward that goal, and just live, and be amazed what great divine will bring along our path, as well as sometimes help and jewels again can come through people. Sometimes it can be physical help or it can be a positive word. So gotta be thankful for things like that too, And as I say, I'm the king of solitude, but I don't shun help and I don't shun everything away. I love being by myself though. I can't deny that. But I'm not stupid at the same time, because sometimes isolation can cripple you. You gotta connect with humans and give hugs and have human contact sometimes. I think it's good for the soul. It's good to interact with humans and stuff, have human contact. So can't shut everything out. Even I know that. So it's got to have some balance in a lot of areas in life. But again, as I wrote in my book, Solitude, Strength, and another book I got called Unlocking the Vote, which is 50 pages. And again, I'm on page 9 of Solitude, Strength. Again, it's a place of preparation, staying on point, keeping all pistons firing, so we can help so we can have that power and endurance to help others so we can carry out what that great divine give us to carry out. So we just had those moments of solitude, just again to power up, stay sane, and stay in deep thought and work out solutions and stuff like that, not to isolate or shun or shut off. It's a big difference, and I had to kind of learn that, because I did used to be kind of standoffish. But that's how you maintain. But solitude from time to time also is a way of keeping yourself looking young, keeping our, just to think about our health and, just to stay on point. And again, keep our pistons firing, so we can, interact with humans and have fun and joy and, and keep ourselves in anticipation mode so we can stay being a pillar of strength. And those who in the communities, I salute you, because I know it can be challenging, and those who are volunteering and doing things that they don't have to be told and just living by principles. It's beautiful when we can do that. It's beautiful, Principles is a beautiful thing, And again, salute to the faculty and the children at my son Ethan and his sister Chloe's school. And again, they're doing well and very smart kids. Some good kids, So again, I'll keep those updated on the volunteering, and I will be volunteering tomorrow. And I'll probably be doing a podcast about volunteering probably Friday morning. And probably Friday morning. I'll probably be doing a podcast, because I probably won't do one tomorrow because I'll be volunteering. So that's why I'm doing one today, to share with one's fellow spell breakers, as Lord Lamont came up with. So again, thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. And like a song in the hip hop break, keep going. Don't you dare give up. We ain't done yet. Like that's the other song that played. We're never done. But that was in the intro. Yeah, that's what we gonna outro with. We're not done yet. Great divine, just getting started. It even protects those that's walking through life blind and don't even know that it protects them too. They just don't know it. People, even people who rotten, and it's protecting them too. They just not aware. But there's gonna come a time, but one gonna have to pay the piper, so to speak, if one is living a rotten, unaware, blind life. I'm talking about a healthy human being. I feel sorry for people like that, because again, the one is a liar, a thief, and worrying and all that stuff. I mean, you're always going to be on edge. You're always going to be tensed up, and it's tearing down one's immune system. Remember, folks, everything we do in life ties into our immune system. Speaking, acting, everything, So whatever we're doing to our immune system, the results will show in our physical, unless we got something we can't control. That's different. I'm talking about a healthy human being that's aware of what they're doing, because we need some generals out here, real talk. So we can have some righteous, bold legacies out here, even if we're not really trying to leave legacies, but like I said in the last podcast, we don't like it when our loved ones transition and leave us, but let's not make it a sad thing. Let's make it a celebration of life, and think about the wonderful things, those who are not with us, that were righteous, our loved ones. Think about what they did. Think about how they lived, not just how they died. Let's think about how they lived, real talk. So think about the good moments we had with them, whether it's brother, sister, in our families, in the world online. I'm talking about righteous generals. All right. So that was something in my soul, brothers and sisters. Don't you dare give up. Giving up is never ever an option. All right. I'm going to read. I got 2 spellbreaker statements that one wants to read, and I'm going to salute your divine warriors on to your divine life. All right. Let me see. And again, thank those that's been riding along. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. Me and Lord Lamont, we love you and we thank you. We appreciate it. We don't take this for granted. Because I said, folks, this is like meditation and or therapy. All right. So I'm going to get to this. I got 2 spellbreaker statements, like I said, and we're going to outro out with we're not done yet. Don't you dare give up. I'm begging you. Please don't give up. You know how many people, I'm sure a lot of us have experienced, if we haven't seen it in our personal lives, someone who just, done the wrong thing right before they got their blessing or their blessing, So, all right, let's get to it. Leaders and teachers and warriors, generals with a student spirit, all right? Remember, I said I had 2 spellbreaker statements. Let's go. Okay, spellbreaker statement number 1. We are confident in our ability to manage stress if we practice and stay on it. Less stress or no stress at all, folks, because again, as I always say, if one wants to know how dangerous stress is, for one, it's like a virus. Look it up. It has the same symptoms as a virus. It has 7 symptoms. I remember looking it up. I got that here on the channel somewhere. I did a podcast about stress. So because we say that word, but do we really know how dangerous stress really is? Stress is literally a killer. It can kill you, whether it's right away or over time. Because stress, again, it's like a virus. It tears down the immune system over time. So if one is negative all the time, and again, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I get my modes where I don't feel like, I don't talk or I'm quiet or, like that. But I'm focused. I'm not stressed. It's a difference. But you have some that carry negative energy, some every day, and they just don't know how they're killing their immune system. It tears it down, because how we think in the core always matters, Not that it can help us heal sicknesses and stuff, but it's a start, because how we think always play a part in our body following, As I always say, folks, where our mind goes, the body goes. So ponder that. Again, we are confident in our ability. We got to be confident, in our ability to manage stress. Practice it, study it, get rid of it, in areas. Find out what that stress level is in our life. And that's why we meditate and or go into deep prayer. So we can see if there's any hidden tensions in us. Because we don't want to implode, because when we let things fester, whether it's in life, personal life, family, just something in general. Never let anything, especially if it's negative or toxic, and if it's subtle, never let nothing fester. Listen to our spirit. We have to learn to listen to our spirit. Let our spirit be a bully righteously. Again, if something is antagonizing and bothering or coming into a dream, pinpoint it, study it, look it up if you have to. We in the age of information, kind of running out of excuses. That's for me too. All right. Again, I'm just sharing. I suggest teach, give advice, because I got to do the same thing. Because I don't ever want to be coming on here and you should do this and you should do that. I'm learning too. I love learning. So we always got to be what? A student, I'm telling you. And it's not a matter of if, it's not a matter of when. Things will only get better and greater, So again, stay a student and embody righteous knowledge that can benefit us for decades to come, as well as our generations. All right, last but not least, spellbreaker statement. We have to find strength in serenity and calmness. We have to, because again, that's where the battles are fought and won and solutions are found. And again, we do all these righteous things for the results. Again, our immune system, our physical, our spiritual, and especially our mental. So again, thank those for coming in and to E's house and enjoying this beautiful banner here. And we can have this not just what we see on the banner. We can have this in real life, Be visionaries. Be divine visionaries. We are powerful. It ain't no we can be. We are. We just gotta, tap inside of it. Again, this world could distract us from the power we possess. And I'm talking about a righteous power, not over things or over people. Just a power that deflects demonic things like that. We can do that. You tell me what could F with us. Real talk. So, man, again, keep our divine eye on that sparrow, brothers and sisters, and never ever stop being a pillar of strength. Real talk. Salute. And telling you, we never done, brothers and sisters. We just getting started. And I'm telling you, it's wonderful when we get to a space when we can be aware, because again, it can be so very, very challenging, But stay the pillar. Remember the fires we blaze through, folks. Just again, we gotta do a little reflection sometimes. Do you know the things we have made it through? So what make these times any different? Just gotta be more strategic, more dynamic, but aware. And again, don't isolate ourselves too much. Don't cut everything off, but have solitude every so often, just to to maintain and stay sane, and treat our mind, body, and soul like Taekwondo. Salute.
We ain't done yet. Don't you place no bets, cause we ain't done yet. Don't you dare place no bets, my brother. Don't you place no bets, cause we are not done yet, my sister. We not done yet. Don't you dare place no bets. I'm staying long, and I'm staying on, and I'm staying strong, and I stay up in the zone, and I stay up in my zone. If you don't like to eat, leave me alone. I ain't tryna be mean, but and I gotta be real, yeah. Talking about the things that I seen, and I stay up in this life with this music, man. I'm like a fiend, and I never stop. Good music, man, I like to drop, and I push that love and good energy, man, a lot. I switch up my style, I keep on going real high, yeah. I'll probably be here for a while, teaching my brothers and sisters, yeah, loving one another, making any kind of weather, stay together forever. We ain't done yet. Don't you dare place no bets, my brother, cause we not done yet, my sister. Don't you place no bets. Like I always say, we gotta be a beast and making sure that we see. If you see what's going on about here in these streets, better watch your family and you kids, man, you got to agree. And I will always say you something right in this life, cause I want you to be a man before we die and transition and real level so high. And I do this, I want us to rise. We ain't done yet, and don't you place no bets, my brother, cause we not done yet. And don't you dare place no bets, my sister, cause we not done yet. Don't you place no bets, no, cause we not done yet. And don't you dare place no bets, my brother, we not done yet. Don't you make no bets, my sister, cause we not done yet. Don't you dare place no bets. Real talk, never gamble with your life. Stay as free as we can possibly be. Salute to my soldiers and soldierettes. One. Don't you place no bets. We're not done yet.